Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, dear face. You are not audible.
Yes, sir. Should I start?
Yeah, we can start.
Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all of you to another session of our industry-oriented training program on Python programming for AI and data analytics. In our previous session, we explored the fundamentals of pandas and learned how series and data frames provide an efficient way to organize and analyze structured data. Today, we take the next step by learning how to bring real-world data into Python through data import and export. Today's lecture will focus on reading data from CSV files, Excel spreadsheets, and databases using pandas. In practical data analysis, the first step is almost acquiring data from external sources. Whether you're working with business reports, research data, financial records, or machine learning data sets, the ability to import, manage, and export data efficiently is an essential skill for every data professional. By understanding these techniques, you'll be able to work with datasets from a variety of sources and prepare them for analysis, visualization, and predictive modeling. These skills form the foundation of every data-driven workflow and are widely used in industry and research. I encourage everyone to code along with today's demonstrations, experiment with different file formats, and actively participate throughout the session. The more familiar you become with handling real-world data, the more confident you will be in tackling practical data analytics projects. It is my pleasure to welcome our esteemed mentor and speaker, Dr. Meher Chand, Associate Professor at Farid College of Engineering and Technology, Bathinda. With his extensive expertise in artificial intelligence, machine learning, computation sciences, and data analytics, he continues to provide learners with practical, industry-oriented knowledge that prepares them for real-world applications. With great pleasure, I invite Dr. Meher Chand to kindly lead us in today's session. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, dear face, for nice introduction, and good evening, all of the participants, to join this 23rd session of our ongoing series of the industrial training program. And I hope that the file which I shared with you yesterday, you have complete yourself, because most of the functions which are there are very quite simple, and some of them we have already discussed. And still, if you have the problem related to this content which I shared with you yesterday, or you can ask me if there is any query. Secondly, that today we are going to use a real data set. Okay, so when you have the data set in a CSV file, Excel file, or in text file, you can have JSON file. Sometimes we have to use the data set which is available on cloud. Okay, and from where you can get a data set. So many things are there. Time to time we will cover, but the most important part, which is a data set. Okay, and most of all type of if we see the use of dataset, we use mainly CSV file because CSV file are very compatible with the all type of the programmings, easy to use, and very sportive. Okay, so in this session we are using CSV file as well as Excel file. Okay, and if you have the any question, you can put your query in the chat box also. Okay, so now I am going to share my screen with you and you will enjoy. So I will take very less time today because many things after when you will import the data set in Jupyter Notebook or other interfaces, after that the functions and their applications will remain same. Okay, so in my download directory, this is my download directory, and here I have the I have created the folder 23, day 23. Okay, so this directory, this folder I will share with you. So when I will open this directory, you can see there are okay, there are these three files. One is data collection, cleaning, and ADA. Okay, and churn modeling.csv, churn modeling.xlsx. Okay, so these are two files. These files contain some data set. Okay, we will use these both, and I am going to start by using this file, which will be available in the WhatsApp group after completing the session. Okay, so this is the data collection, cleaning, and exploratory data analysis. And actually, there was one training program for the faculty development was going on there. Currently, this training program. So this topic in a few days back I covered, present this session. Okay, so here you can see the data collection method. So there are various ways, just like web data, API, survey data. Okay, when you have any kind of the survey, you will collect in Excel file. You can convert easily that same data set in CSV file also. And database connectivity, sometimes we have the data set which is we have only the URL. Okay, so by using all these we can access the data set. Okay, so for the when we deal with the data set, we are required some libraries. So these libraries, as you can see, import pandas as PD, and about its description is also given there. NumPy as an we have already discussed about import Seaborn as SNS. Okay, and these two labs, Seaborn, both are used for data visualization. Sometimes when you will run the code while using the libraries specifically, along with the when we have some statistical or any just like a machine learning model, in that case we have some warnings, and these warnings appeared due to some updates in the coming days. Okay, so many times repeatedly this type of the warnings are there, then we can use this library, import warnings. And when you will use warnings dot filter warning ignore. Okay, so ignore means if there is any warning, that will not appear in your this Jupyter file. Okay, that automatically will be ignored, and you will focus on your work. Sometimes when this type of the warnings are there, so our construction break. so we can easily focus on our ongoing work without any interruption. Okay, and when you will execute this shell, the statement of the libraries to import here, control and enter. So yes, so here also I use libraries imported successfully. So when all the statements imported successfully. Okay, so now the first and most important thing, if you have the data set in any file, just like CSV file, Excel file, or text file, all these files must be in the same directory where you have the Jupyter file. Just like as I have shown you
Das
in the
freut
very big.
mich. Das freut mich sehr zu hören. Ich werde alle Unterlagen in einem PDF zusammenstellen und sie dir per E-Mail schicken. Vielen Dank für deine Hilfe. Hab einen schönen Tag, Papa. Das freut mich sehr zu hören.
Hello,
Das
is there
freut
any
mich.
question? Okay, so here you can see. So when you will execute all these statement, we have a last statement which you can see is printed. It means all the libraries which we want to use here are important. After that, as I told you that when you have the file, just like you can see here, this is the file which is Jupyter file, and I am using right now. So all these three files, CSV and Excel file, are also there in the same directory. So if you are using in this way all the files and the dataset file, if all these are in the same directory, then you need not worry about anything. All the data which you want to import will be easily you can read. Okay, but if these files are in the other directory, in that case you have to put the path. Okay, so in that case sometimes beginners have the challenge. Okay, so if these files are in other directory, then how you can deal with the data set, we will talk in later. But this is the easiest way to use these files. Just like you can see here, I want to read CSV file. I want to read CSV file, okay, which is available in my current directory. Here you can see this is the CSV file, and if I will click on it, you can see the data set, and this will open here directly. Okay, so if you want to open Excel file, that may have some challenge, but you can open this CSV file directly. Just you are required to click on it. Okay, so this is the data set. Okay, and a very long data set is there. We will see by using our operations. So this file is there. This is the method how you can read the file. PD. Why PD? Because pandas. Okay, with the help of the pandas, we want to read this file. Okay, read underscore CSV. And here in the quote sign, you will put the full name of the file, as you can see here with extension. This is the file name. Here you can see this is the file name. Okay, churn modeling.csv. As we have at this place in the same, just you will click here, right click, then rename, and you can control A and copy it. Then you can paste this name at this place. Okay, inside the quote sign. Okay, so this is the full name, and there will be no problem to use this file, and this will automatically PD pandas will read this file, and this will create a data frame. Okay, as we discussed in the previous session. So this is the very simplest way to read the CSV file, and this data frame will be stored inside this variable. Okay, now you will enjoy the large data set. Size doesn't matter. All the operations which we cover in the past session, you can apply here now. Okay, because in the yesterday session, we have only the very small example of the data set, of the data frame. Now see, we have the large data set and how this pandas library can deal all type of the operations which you want to apply on CSV file. All the outputs, as you will give the instructions, as you will use the functions frequently, you have the output in the same file. Okay, so see, now I want to use I want to apply, I want to run this code. uh, okay, so as soon as either you can use without head control, and after this will also print the data set. So this entire data set is there in df, and when you will use this variable again, so this is also we are using to print the data set. If you want to use your print function also, you can use, there is no problem. Control control and enter. So okay, so when you will use print function, the data set will appear like in this way, as you can see. So this is also the entire data set, but here see, first 5 rows and last 5 rows. These are the first 5 rows and these are the last 5 rows. So the index is starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on up to 9999. So it means there are 10,000 entries in this data set, which you can see now. Okay, and these are the variables. You can see these are the variables, and some of them are here also, and you can scroll down, some of them are also there. So total variables, if you can see, you can see the data set size. There are 10,000 rows and 14 columns. Okay, so this is the size of the data set just by reading this file and by using this print function. And another way which we can use here, simply df, when you will use, so the data will appear like in this way along with the these index. Okay, so this is also the way to run the code without using the function. If you are using here head, okay, so this is the customization. So when you will use the head, only first 5 rows by default will be there. Okay, if you will write here 50, so only first 50 rows will be there. You can see these are first 50 rows. Previously, yesterday, we don't have the large data set, so we are not able to apply these customized number to visualize the data set. Okay, but now you have very large data set, you can use any number at this place, and according to that you can assess the values. So here you can see when I'm using here large number 100, and we can have only first 5 and last 5. Okay, so if you are using here 75, so this is the limitation, maximum number of, okay, I think 50, near about 50 we have the, all the rows will be there. Okay, if you are using here tail function, okay, this tail function is you have covered yesterday. Okay, so this will read last 50 rows. So 50, last 50 rows are there, you can see here, okay, in this data set. So all the entire data set is there in this variable df, but here by using you want to see, you want to understand the data set. Okay, so according to that you can apply this head function, tail function. Okay, so by default, if you are using by default, so by default this will be only last 5 rows. Okay, so this is the way to read the CSV file And after that, you can see these operations which we apply for the small data set. Okay, but here you have the large data set, and you can easily, after reading the file, okay, and the easiest way to read the file I have show you. If these files are in your current directory, then without any interruption you can easily read the file, and after that all the operations which you want to implement for the entire data set you can do. So all type of the okay, data frame. This is the quality or beauty of the data frame after by using the pandas. So all type of the operations, statistical, and along with the if you want to develop some like recommendation and prediction model. So in this way, you can use this entire data set for all type of the operations or which you want to do with the data set. So this will help you, and very quite easy way to use. Okay, so now if you have the data set in Excel file, so this is the other file. This is the another file, churn modeling.xlsx. Okay, this is the extension of the file. You can see here, churn modeling.xlsx. Okay, so the name is at this place. We have to use there. You can see, and in the place at the place of CSV, we are using now Excel. Okay, pd.read underscore Excel. So this will read the data set from Excel file, and will store in the variable df1. I use here new variable to store the data frame. Okay, so that there is no confusion. So after that, when you will read the file by using pandas, you can apply all the same operations uh, which you are using with the CSV file, or all the operations which you have discussed yesterday. So all type of the operations you can now apply in this file after importing here. So here, if I will execute, you can see we have the same thing, df1.head. Okay, so these are the first 5 rows. If you are using here tail, control and enter. Okay, so you can see when we are using Excel file, this is taking some time, but when you are using CSV file, the result will return immediately. Okay, so actually the thing is, the CSV file is very supportive when you are using for any kind of the data science or data analytic or statistical analysis or other operations. Okay, so the size also of the CSV file is small as compared to Excel file. So now if you want to use all type of the manipulation which you want with the data set, you can do. Okay, so these are the last 12 rows. Okay, if you are using your head, okay, yes, you can have same thing. So this is the data set. So I think if you have any question related to how we can read the CSV file or Excel file, because this is the most important part for the today's session. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask from me. Yes, if you have any question. Okay, question? No question. Okay, thank you. If there is no question, so let's now enjoy the other operations. Here you can see if you can have the data set in URL, you can see this is the URL of some data set. Okay, so this URL is stored inside this variable URL. For that, you are required import request, then pandas, because pandas will help you to read the data set. Okay, and request is one type of the library which we are required to use here. So mainly when you have the data set in JSON or URL or any cloud space, then we are required. So first we will use here request dot get URL. So this URL we are using here to get the data set. This is the request we are sending here, which is the response. So when you have the request for this data set, then response.json. Okay, so the data set is there in JSON, which we are using here. Okay, so this data set will store inside user. We are using the data set for users. Okay, so after that you will create this data set, because this is the JSON file now. Okay, so pd.data frame and user we are passing here. Okay, so when you will execute this statement, all these statement all together, this will generate the data frame. Okay, then print, control and F. So you can see this is the data set inside this file, which is in the URL form. Okay, we are using this URL, and from that place we access this data set. Okay, very rare chance is there when you will use this type of the data set. Otherwise you will collect your own data set, and if you are data scientist, then uh, most of the companies provide you the data set. Okay, so if there is a real time study, then there is a different issue. But if you are going to start your journey, how we can use all these operations, how you can read the data set. Okay, so this is the basic concept which we are required to understand. And this is the SQL database. If you have, then you can uncomment this statement. So by using this statement, which you can see here, we can read the dataset from SQLite. Okay, so but I don't have right now. Okay, so this is the way how you can read the data set from Jupyter by using Jupyter Notebook. But still there is one more interesting question. If you are using Colab, okay, so in the Colab, how you will read the data set? Okay, see, very simple. I will provide the file which I am using for Colab also. You can see if you are using the Colab and you want to read the data set. Okay, I have just 1 minute, please. I have the Colab, and in the Colab I have City University. Customer churning. So if you are using Google Colab, okay, so how you can read the dataset from there? So actually the thing is, when you are using this Colab, so you have to import from Google.Colab import files. So by using this statement, we can import the files. So after that, we have to upload file dot upload. Okay, so this statement will upload the file here, and after that, see what happens. So first, you are required to run this shell. Okay, these two statement. First is to import the file and then upload the file. So first we are required to upload the file at this place. So as soon as you will click on it, this Jupyter will connect with the Google Compute Engine. So three dots are in orange. This will become green. Then further process will start. Yes, you can see. Okay. So here we are required to choose the file. See here, choose the file. Click on it. So in my download directory, okay, I can open this SAM day 23. In this, I have this file. Okay, I click on it, open. Charm modeling.csv file, same dataset and 100% done. Okay, so the file has been uploaded. Now we need to get the file name. Okay, so by using this statement list upload.case 0, this will read the file name and will store it at this place. And when you will execute, so you can see this the file name. Okay, so now we are required to read the data set which is in file name. So other part will remain same. This is the same input as I have shown you in Jupyter file. Okay, and the same file I'm using in Colab. So there is no difference, only this statement will be different. After that, all the things will remain same. We can execute this shell because libraries are important for further operation. When libraries are, then we have the df is equal to pad.read csv, and this is the file name. Okay, so file name we have to use at this because which is the csv. So this is the file name you can see, and this information is there in this file. Okay, so we are not required to put this name because this name is stored here in file name. Okay, so when you will execute this one, this will read the data set, and then you can use here head. So after that, all the operations will be same. You can execute. So you can see the same data set is here also. Okay, so all the operations which you will apply in Jupyter file at this place will be same as we are using in Colab. There is no difference. Only the difference is one thing, how you can read the file by using Google Colab. Okay, so this part is also I have covered. If you want to use Google Colab, then how you will read the data set. Okay, whether it is a CSV file or Excel file. So you can go in this way. Okay, and I now close this part. I will share this statement. I will share with you this file also, so that if you want to use Colab, and by using the Colab you want to apply all these operations which you can see here. Okay, and first and most important thing is all of you must complete this file. Okay, whether I am not able or not able to complete, but you must try all these operations so that you can have some idea how the functions are working there. So now I come back to this file. Okay, so here we have the when you download the data set, the most important part is to understand the data set, to clean the data set. Okay, this is very essential part. So here some of the operations which we have discussed in the last session or in the previous session will be available here. Some may be okay. So along with the matplotlib pyplot and cborn set, okay, and this you are, so we are required to run this shell so that all the things will update. So first thing, this is the first step to import the libraries. Then after that, we are required to download the data set. This is the second step. So all the steps which you will follow for the data set in your future, okay, are there in this file. So step by step, all the information are there. So here we are using the churn modeling dataset, and in this dataset contain 10,000 customers recorded from the bank, featuring demographic details like age, gender, country, and financial indicator such as credit score, balance, number of the product. And it is primarily designed for the churn modeling, tracking whether a customer has stayed or left the bank with an overall over churn rate of approximately this is the 20.37%. Okay, so this is the some basic information about the data set, which data set you are using. So when also you will create your project, okay, after a few days we will assign you project to all the participant. Okay, so this file which now I am discussing with you will help you how you will understand this data set, how you will maintain. So this type of the information, when you will get the file or any data set which you are using, you have to put some basic information about the data set. Okay, so this data set which the data set which we are using, this is the some brief introduction. Okay, so now this is the way which we have discussed here, how we can read the file. So first you are required to read the file. So the file has been read at the place. Then we are required to display df. Df we are using to display the data set. Okay, if you want to use here head uh, dot head, you can try. So you can use any other operations. So if by using the head, okay, by using the head we have at this place tail and also there. So actually the thing is here I divide all the functions one by one so that all this will help you how to use. Okay, so here we are using head function, and here also we are using tail function to read the last 5 rows, okay, according to your choice. Sample is also there. Yeah, I want to use this function also. This sample function will extract rows randomly. Okay, so here I am using 10 rows, and when I will execute, you can see these 10 rows are there randomly. If you will run this code again, you have now different 10 rows. Okay, so each time when you will execute, so each time you this will access new 10 rows. Okay, if you are using here 100, I can use 50. So as much you have the large data set, this will more helping. Okay, actually the thing is to check the you can see here the last column or the entire data set. Okay, so this will help you. So there are 100, and yes, this is the, see the last column, excited. So this excited is the output value. I will use here some terms. Output value, you can say these values are the target value. Okay, so the target value or output value, the same thing. So sometimes when I will use the target value, it means these are the output values. Okay, and this is dependent, all these values are dependent on these parameters which you can see. Corresponding to all these parameters, we have this is the output. So this output will depend upon the other variables which you can see in this data set. Okay, so sometimes we will use the output value, sometimes we are using here target value, and sometimes we can say this is the dependent column and the other are independent values. Okay, so when we will use for any machine learning model, so we have to divide the data set in two variable. One is x and other is y. So these target value will store inside y variable, and the other data set we will store in x. Okay, which will contain the entire data set except last column excited. Okay, so before doing any kind of the operation statistical analysis, we are required to clean the data set. We have to prepare the data. Okay, so these are the step and need to understand. Understanding of the data set is very, very important. So without understanding the data set, without cleaning the data set, we are not able to apply any statistical operation or machine learning model, anything which you want to do. So first thing is understand the complete entire data set, about the variable, about the type of the data set, size of the data set, okay, and many more. So here you can see in the step number 7, these operations we have already discussed in the previous session. Okay, if you want to check the number of rows, then df dot shape 0. If you want to check the number of columns, df dot shape 1. Control and enter, check it. The rows are 10,000, column are 14. If you are using info function, this also we have discussed yesterday. Okay, and now we are using on the real data set. So all the operations which you discussed in the previous session, we are now able to apply all those functions on the real data set. But how? Just you are required to import the data set, then store in the one variable, and you will see only df is enough. This df contain all the entire data set which is in your CSV file, Excel file, text file, JSON file, or any you if you are using the URL. Okay, this df will enough to apply all operations which you need. So range index you can see 10,000, entries from 0 to 9999, and data column we have total is 14. In the first column you can see the index, and in the second column you have the all the variable name, or you can say head name, and also you can see no null. Each entries or each head have 10,000 values. It means there is no null. Okay, and in the last column you can see the data type. Okay, integer, these are the objects. Sub integer, geography and gender, these are again we have the object. Okay, so here you can see some are the object, some are integer, some are float value. So by using info, you have the information about all the variable which are stored inside CSV file. Okay, we are not able to read and understand the CSV file directly, but by using these operations one by one, you can get all the information about the variables and the data type and the size of the data set and many more. Okay, and now you can see if we need only the column name. This operation also we have covered yesterday and today also. Okay, df dot column. So all the column names are there. So sometimes if you need only the name, not the data set information, so you can use this function. So only names will appear here. If you want to check the data type, okay, use df dot data type. This will return the same information as you can see here in the last column and the column name. Okay, so only this information is required. Also yesterday we have one describe function. Okay, now see the smart work of this describe with the pandas. Okay, so this describe function will return us descriptive static about the entire data set. Control and enter. So this is the descriptive static. So this will return count, mean, STD, minimum value, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, maximum value. Okay, if you are using here dot t, control and enter. So the entire frame will rotate and transpose in. The rows will become column. Okay, so easy to understand here. These are the variables. So the count of each variable you can see 10,000. Mean of these values you can see here in the second column. Standard deviation of these values you can see here in the third column. Mean, this is the minimum value of all these variables. Okay, you can see these are the first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, maximum value. Okay, so you can see in any form, or you can check like in this way. Okay, so the entire descriptive static you can see by using describe function, and you can easily most important is minimum value and maximum value of each variable. So these values will help you when you will deploy the project after training the model, when you need to deploy. So what inputs are required? Okay, just like a minimum value and maximum value sometimes very important, because you have to give the input. So the input values must lies between these two values, minimum and maximum, because your data set is trained by using these values. So the input values must be between these values, maximum and minimum. Okay, so sometimes these will help you. If you need to check the missing value, okay, now you have the data set. Okay, we don't know nothing about the entire data set, and we are not able to check how many shell are empty or null shell. So by using this operation, as you can see, df dot is null dot sum. Okay, this will is null means this will check the whether the cell is empty or not. Okay, so if these are empty, then this will count some function. So as you can see, all these values are 0. It means in this file there is no empty shell. Okay, and if there is empty, then what you will do, you will use you can use uh, drop function. You can use drop these values. Okay, or you can have other option, remove. Okay, you can use remove function for these values. If you want to check in the percentage, okay, now the percentage is very important. Okay, so if suppose that in any column the percentage of the missing values are very, just like we 80% shall are sufficient information. Okay, we have to delete this variable. If you will substitute some other values, just like by using 0 or the mean of the values or the median of the values or mode of the values to fill the missing value, so this will our result. So if the small values are how many values are missing, and this is the formula. So this is the total count, and we will divide it by length of the data frame. Okay, how many entries are there, number of the rows. Okay, multiply it by 100. So this will return the missing values in percentage, and this function will check the duplicate values. This will check the duplicate values, and will count. For counting we are using dot sum. So this will return the some of the duplicate entries in your data set. So here no duplicate, and if there is a duplicate, then you can drop them, just like df dot drop underscore duplicate. So if there is any duplicate value, then this will drop the duplicate entries. You can check the unique values. Okay, then you can check the geography, unique values in geography. If you want to check the unique value, okay, this can be possible in where you have the object values. Okay, so we check in the beginning. We have the object, geography, and gender, and there is even more variable. Okay, so this is geography. So when you will enter, you can see there are three countries are there: Germany, Spain, France. Okay, if you want to check their count value, okay, value count, you can use this function. So this will count the values with respect to countries according to geography. So France have this data, and Germany have this data, Spain have this data set. Okay, if you want to convert in percentage, okay, so you can use like divide it by LENDF. Okay, control and enter. Okay, so this is in percentage. Okay, so now there is very interesting operation, feature engineering for churn modeling. What will be there? Uh, the theoretical part you will study yourself. Okay, you can do very quite easy. These are the steps for feature engineering: raw data, then data cleaning, feature transformation, feature creation, encoding, scaling, selection, machine learning model. Okay, so these steps in this sequence are required. Okay, when all these things are fine, then you can apply machine learning model. And these are the some common feature engineering, and what are the purpose to use them. Okay, just like you can see in the first column we have the operation, in the second column you can see the purpose, and in the last column we have the example. Feature creation, sometimes we have to create a new feature. Okay, create new variable. How? If you are given weight and height, but we need body mass index. So by using this formula, we can create a new variable which is body mass index. Okay, feature transformation, yeah, modify the data. Sometimes the values are in very large, okay, large value. So by using log transformation, we can minimize them. Okay, we can reduce the size of the value. Then encoding. Sometimes you can see convert the categorical data into numbers, just like we have the male and female. So male and female, by using this object, we are not able to apply static. For that we are required numerical value. Okay, so by using encoding, we can convert them in numerical value, and this will again help you for better analysis. Okay, then we have the scaling, normalized numerical data. So there is one formula, minimum minus maximum scaling we can say, but the formula is not there. Okay, you will see in the coming sessions, but we have the example. So by using this one, what we do, from the entire data set, we will choose the minimum value and the maximum value. Okay, so then after uh, for this scale, you will use the formula x is any value, x is any value from the data set minus minimum upon maximum minus minimum. So this is the way to convert in normalized numerical data or scaling. Okay, and binding, you can see convert continuous values into the categorical data. Just like sometimes we are required, there are several edges. Suppose that the edge edges are starting in your data set from 15 years to 80 years. Okay, so if you want to convert this data set into the group data, just like young, adult, old, very old. Okay, so according to their age, we can convert this data set into group. Aggregation combine the multiple features, average salary by the department. Okay, so in this way we can use the multiple features. Daytime features, year, month, day, exact date, we extract date information. Okay, so we can use this is the example, year, month, date. Interaction features also combine variable, age into income. Sometimes we are required while doing statistical or to prepare the data for just like machine learning. Okay, so these type of the operations we can use. Okay, then we have the polynomial feature, just like edge square, create a non-linear relationship. And last one we have is the feature selection, keep imported variable, remove irrelevant. So these are the some feature engineering, but here we have only the information. So the understanding will be there when we will apply these operations for the real data set. So in that case, you have the better understanding why we are using and what are the purpose. But all type of the engineering features are not required. So sometimes if we need, just like uh, uh, if you want to add the feature, or sometimes you have the this type of the data set, categorical data we have to convert, and sometimes we have the large values. Okay, so this is also again very important. So the first four features are very useful for dataset. So the others are not much important, but we must have the information about all type of the uh, feature engineering, which type of the operation you can perform. There are some more operations which you can see in the other file. Okay, but here you have the some idea what is the meaning of the feature engineering and why we need. So the theoretical part I put here. Okay, you can see, you will go through this detail. Okay, so this will help us to create easily feature scaling or transforming. This will help us to apply any model. Okay, so the result will not affect if you are using this uh, feature engineering. So the model will learn better. So also this will reduce the complexity. Suppose that if in any variable the income size is very large. Okay, just like at some places we have 1,000, 10,000, 50,000. Some values are just like 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh. Some entries are just like 1 crore, 2 crore, 2 crore. Okay, so to make it uniform and to make to reduce the complexity, scaling or to normalize the data set is very, very important. Okay, so when you will do, the complexity will reduce and the value size is now small. So the computing which you will do, which you will perform, so we have due to the less complexity, we have the output by using less space or less use of the RAM. Okay, so this will reduce the complexity of the computing mainly. So please go through all the why the features are important. Okay, and what are the process, which operations are there to apply. Please go through. So here we have some data set is there, and all type of the operations you can see here. So in the first step, you can see remove the irrelevant feature. So the features which are not important for our study, we can drop them. Okay, so just like surname, customer ID, and row number, these are not important. What are the purpose? What they will affect the data set? Okay, so surname, customer ID, row number, we can drop them, and this is the way df dot drop. So unnecessary data you have to remove from the data set. Then after you can see encode geography. Okay, encode geography. So what you will do here, and also you can see drop first true, drop first true. So when I will use here control and enter, okay, so see the geography variable, you can see. So first we have drop and other values you can see false and true only, 0 and 1, because one variable we have drop. So this is the geography of Germany, then Spain. Okay, two countries are there. Actually, there are three, but one we have dropped. Okay, and then you can see, and also all these will be after the actual data set. Here, last column is excited. So when you will apply all these the uh, operations, the new column will added after the last column. You can see these are the new column generated. Okay, similarly you can use here encode gender. Okay, so encode gender, male will be 1 and female, for female we are using 0. Okay, so for that we have to use a label encoder, and this is the machine learning. So in the detail we will discuss about the sklearn. So actually these are the part of scikit-learn, which is the machine learning packages are there. So from that library we are using sklearn dot pre-processing import label encoder. So this label encoder, what this will do, this will convert genders male female into 1 0. Okay, so when I will execute, so this the model name we store here in the LE. Then after we are applying here LE dot fit underscore transform, and we are using here gender. So only the effect this operation will be on gender, and will store as a variable gender. And when I will execute control and enter, you can see where is gender. Yeah, you can see gender is here. Okay, so all the values are now 0 and 1, but here you will see gender, we have male female. Okay, you can see here male female, but here after applying this operation you can see all the values are 0 1. Okay, so now this data is we can use for statistical analysis. Okay, but this is not suitable because here we have object. Okay, so in this way you can apply this feature engineering. Then we can create the age group. Okay, create the age group. So we create the groups just like df age group, pd dot cut df age variable from the data frame, and these are the bins up to 18, then 18 to 30, then 30 to 45, 45 to 60, 60 to 100. Okay, so up to 18 are there. Then after 18 to 30, we have added space. 31 to 45, we have air in the next. So with respect to this, we have young, adult, middle age, and senior. Okay, these four groups are there. Okay, so by using this one, control and enter, now we have the age group. You can see the last column. This is the age group. Okay, and similarly, if you want to apply for the credit score category, if you want to create credit score category, okay, just like you can see up to 300, then up to 580, up to 670, up to 740, and up to 900. Poor, fair, good, excellent. So credit score is there, one variable. You can see where is credit score. Is there any credit score? Yeah, in the first column. Okay, so these numbers you can see, but when you will apply this one, So poor, fair, good, and excellent. So this group will be created. Okay, control and enter. You can see the last column. This is the credit category. Okay, so there are so many feature engineering operations are there. If I will present all, it will take more time. So you will try all these operations which we are using here. We mention, okay, sometimes just like you can see, all the operations are there, but here we present many examples. Okay, so when you will deal with the real project, all these are not required, but you must familiar how you can apply. Okay, and which type of the feature engineering are possible, but depend upon our choice. When you will deal with the real project, then you will realize the importance why we need to apply these feature engineering according to the problem. So all note operations which you can see here, there are many operations I add here. uh, if I will scroll down, all these operations are based on feature engineering. Okay, so yes, up to this point. Okay, about there are 22 steps. Okay, so you can try all these operations and see which type of the operation we are applying and observe the observation. Okay, so the other operations which I present here, which I include in this file, you will try yourself, and it will take only 1 hour to complete the entire file. But now I am presenting for you to explain every step, so that's why I need some more time. Okay, but you can complete the entire file within 1 hour. So after that, we can have the exploratory data analysis. So this part also you should try to complete if there are some operation. So some of the operations are similar, which we have discussed in the very starting. But here, just like you can see, mean, median, mode, all these operations we apply yesterday. But now you are going to apply for real data set. So this part also by default we have complete, but you must go through this entire file. Okay, and you must see all these outputs by using Seaborn. We are using Matplotlib also. So you must try to read all these input for data visualization. Okay, but in the complete we have special session for different type of the visualization. Okay, and partially you can see at this place. So there will be some images, box plot, histogram, and just like we have the caddy plot. Okay, so you must have some questions in the coming session by tomorrow. If you have question, we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, so this is all about the. You can see the all the steps, complete workflow. Okay, so these part are very important. So the all these will help you when you will apply for your problem, your data set on. So once you will complete this file, you will be familiar which steps are required, which workflow we are need to follow, which operations are required, how you can apply. Okay, what is the sequence and the pattern to apply all these operations. So this information is very very important to all the participant. So here, how you can read the data set, how you can use this file, we discuss all these part. Okay, so the other information, some of the part which I stop here, we will cover in the coming sessions. Okay, so the most important thing is only you must cover this file and keep this file along with you. Okay, so up to this place. Okay, up to this place you will complete, you should complete. Okay, so the other part not necessary to complete, but if you want to try, you must do. Okay, so all the other part which I left will be part of the in the coming sessions. Okay, so I hope you will try all these operations which are very quite easy, and some statistical method, just like mean, median, mode. Not only the formula. Formula is not important. Important is why we need mean. What is the importance of median? What are the importance of mode? Where we will apply? What is the meaning of a standard deviation? When you have the real data set, then if you will apply standard deviation, then what we are getting the information by using STD, what we are getting the information by using first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, variance, covariance. Okay, we are not required formulas, nothing. All these things we can do by using the formulas or the functions which are available in Python. But without deep understanding about the formulas which we need to apply here. Okay, so actually there are two things here. My main purpose is to how we can use Python to study the data set. Okay, but here I am not covering core statistical methods. Okay, so if you need, I can provide the content. If you want, I should cover. So when I will cover all these entire static which is required for our study, this will take more time. Okay, if you can study all these yourself, or you are familiar about all these functions, so this will help us. But I will try in the coming sessions, all I will try to introduce uh, uh, formulas and their application. So this will make a more better understanding to use the formula and apply, and what are the purpose, and when you will deal with the real data set. Okay, so many things are there, and now our complexity will increase day by day, and you will enjoy. Okay, and my efforts are better understanding about the methods, but along with I hope you will also ask queries from your side when you will face any problem during the session and the after the session. So dear participant, this is all about the today's session. If you have any question, you can ask me. The files which I use here for this session, I will share with you in the WhatsApp group. So if you have any question, please feel free. कभी कभी माइक भी अनम्यूट कर लिया करो.
No questions, sir. Thank you. Nice presentation.
मैंने बोला भी माइक भी अनम्यूट करके कभी रिप्लाई किया करो, है ना, तो मेरे को भी लगे कि हाँ भी मैं किसी साथ इंटरेक्ट कर रहा हूँ. Otherwise I feel I alone speaking, I am presenting everything. Okay, all
No, sir. No, sir.
the participants are silent. Okay, so if you will react to something positive or negative, this will motivate me.
Because, sir, very interesting content. So
Okay.
everyone quite way. No.
I want to listen from other participant also. Okay, actually, you are expressing your views, but what about the others? So other people are silent. They are not speaking during the session. No question, no queries. There are two cases. Either you are understanding everything which I presenting here, or the other case is just you are listening me.
Right, sir.
So yes. So I hope all the content are very clear. Vanshika, can you please open your mic? Vanshika, Ashpreet, Anmol, Shifali Sharma, Shifali. Yes, Shifali. Yes, how the workshop is going? Okay, data set will be there. I am going to share now. Okay, the operations which we have seen right now are very quite easy. Okay, if you have covered the content which I presented yesterday, then these content are nothing. You will enjoy entire content.
Sir, please provide the recorded lecture,
Yes,
back
yes.
important, yeah.
Actually,
Because
yeah.
we will
I will.
be more help your recorded lecture.
Actually, yes, I will update all this information, not today, but
Yeah.
I will do this thing on Saturday because I am very fully occupied, very
Okay, thank
occupied.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, I am worried about all the content, but these days, what happened in my college also, two, three programs are going there, and I faculty development program. So in the FDP, I have to present all the content. There is only one speaker per 7 days. Okay, so full day for the FDP, and along with there is some training programs. Students are coming, so I have to travel also 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. So see how I'm managing all these things. Sorry for that. I will update everything in the coming Saturday. I'm getting some message from Ramnit Kaur Sidhu, okay, and some participants are also there. It's my responsibility, but due to some my unavoidable reason, I will update in the coming Saturday. Okay, so please wait till then. So the content which I present today are very easy, and I'm going to share in the WhatsApp group, and you should cover all this content. Okay. Now I requested to face.
Yes, sir.
Just 1 minute. Vanshika, you are not. You can unmute your mic. You can do. Just 1 minute. Vanshika. Okay, you actually, Vanshika, you did not connect your mic while joining this meeting. Okay, please check in the next time. So when you will join the meeting, at that time, you must check your mic is connected or not. But I can see that your mic is not connected. Only, only your video is there. Okay, but not mic. Okay, dear face, you can conclude the session now, and
Yes.
you can get the file in your WhatsApp group right now. Okay.
As we conclude today's session, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Meher Chand for his insightful lecture on data import and export using pandas. Today's session highlighted the importance of working with real-world datasets by learning how to import data from CSV files, Excel spreadsheets, and databases. These skills are fundamental to every stage of the data analysis process and form the starting point for data cleaning, visualization, and machine learning applications. I encourage everyone to practice importing different types of data sets and explore the various options available in Pandas for reading and writing data. Developing confidence in handling data from multiple sources will be invaluable as you work on real-world analytics projects. I would also like to thank all participants for your active participation, thoughtful questions, and continued enthusiasm throughout today's session. Your engagement continues to make this training program both interactive and rewarding. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a wonderful night, and we look forward to seeing you in the next session.
Thank you to all, and good night.